All right, hopefully we'll do some fun stuff today. All right, first thing is we're going to do a small review of Linux commands. Okay, and then we'll finish installing our lab and configuring our firewall. Okay, so first thing I want everyone to do is I want everyone to log into vLinux, because as part of this review, you're going to be teamed up and buddied up. Okay, we should have 19 people in here. If you don't remember how to log into vLinux, you need to download PuTTY. I put a link in the lock, and it's vlinux.ecc. All right. If you're having problems, let me know, or ask your buddy or neighbor. All right, we got a bunch. That number, we're waiting for 4 people. So 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's 19 and I'm only counting 15. Got 16. Everyone needs to be allowed, otherwise you don't get partnered up. People need to be partnered. See how cool that is? I can just count who's logged in just like that. So if you need help, raise your hand or ask a friend. Okay. Cool. We'll see. So we got 3 people waiting to do this. If you want, if you're just kind of waiting, so I know it's like if you're just kind of waiting, if you go to Rock, you can review. I put a little link here, right there. It's that Google one. There's the second, there should be a second link. Yeah. And so a tiny little quiz, and you're not graded on the quiz itself, okay? But I do want you to kind of look through it. Don't answer any of the questions yet or things like that until everyone's logged in. But if you want to kind of think ahead, look at the questions, you can do that. Oh, one more. Awesome. We're at 18. Looking for one more person. No, probably not. Let me turn this off. see if we got all our people here. 19. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now let's see what we got here. So what I want to do is I want to redirect this to a file called students. And now let's see if my little program works. Oh, but look, it only does 4. It failed. All right, I can't troubleshoot this. So what we'll do, well, I can, just not here in class. I don't want to waste your time. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to cat the file, and it'll be the order that you logged in. All right, how did Ben and Jake get together, man? All right, so we're going to do the order that you logged in. Here, let me move this file over somewhere. I believe I have that shared, so I'll copy. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go to the share file that I set up. And there's a student's text file there that you can just do cat students. And that will list everybody logged in. Okay? And what you'll do is each person will be paired up with who they logged in. So, oh, see, now that's different. All right, that's okay. You'll be logged in with this file here. So Marcel and Ryan, except what? It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's correct.
Is this not right? That has to be, this is the right file. Yeah. I think so. Ryan and Richard. Yeah, I think this is right. Well, we'll find out here real soon. All right. So what I want you guys to do, oh, there we go. Okay. Is you take the first two, those two are a pair, right? And you guys just happen to be sitting by each other. All right? Then we have Matt and Anna, Marcel and Ryan, Ed, and Kyle, like that. Okay? Except the last 3 will be one group. Okay? Does everyone know how to view this file and how to get into that group? All right, that means you have to get up and move and sit at least close to that person, all right? They can sit either right behind you, in front of you, left or right of you. Okay?
Yeah.
And whoever your partner is.
Zach, I think.
Zach? Zach will have to come up here.
Okay, he's right. It has Ryan Kleinbeck was logged in, but I don't actually see it.
He was here.
Yeah, I was going to
Oh,
ask.
he's on the phone.
Oh, see, he took a phone call. So he's here.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask.
All right, so far this is fine.
How do you filter out people who are logged in but not here? Or do you not? Because wouldn't that list everybody who's logged into the list?
Yeah, but we're not really. No one really else should be. And last I looked, just before class, it was just me. So yeah, you could
But in
occasionally have
case, you
that.
could end up with people who weren't.
So what happened? What I did here was, if you look at the way I fed the file, if I use grep v, and then I can list whatever I want because I didn't want me included on there. So grep, this does the exception. So everything but whatever I list there. So I would have to kind of scan that. All right, is everyone confused? Good?
That guy was struggling. Look at, they're all like,
Yeah.
my friends, I don't know where they're going. They're like,
All right, who's confused? Who's looking for who?
This guy.
Okay, you're with either Michael or Jose. Mike's right there, and that's Jose. So you're probably with Jose. Well, just shout out who you're looking for. I know this is the username. Just say, hey, I'm looking for J667.
No, I don't know. Because these seem like they're usually Oh, no, that's definitely the same. I remember early on, Ed told me that. It's either, I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
All right, does everyone have a buddy? No, last three, I think this is one group. So we have Bennett, Jeremy, and Richard, right? All together somehow. So you can sit right there by Jose on the other side, maybe. They're just right behind you. Or right there, yeah.
Well, there are a lot of commands.
All right.
I mean, you could also do like ls, NAM, and then there's a ton.
Okay. Everyone settled? Everyone have a buddy? Okay. What I want you to do is go ahead and take the little quiz. Okay? So like I said, you're not graded on getting everything right or wrong. Okay? You're just graded on doing it. Okay? So it's the easiest quiz you'll ever take because you'll get 100% no matter if you get them all wrong or not.
So everybody knows.
Yep. Everyone should take it. You could just sit right back behind. All right, I'll give you guys, yeah. No, but we will review it. Yep.
Do you want us to test these things out in Putty or just do it without testing?
No, yeah, don't look it up in the book. Don't research, just from your own knowledge that's in your brain. Unless after you take it, then you can go through it again, and we'll review it all here in class. So, all right, so I believe there's 17 or 18 questions. So if I give you guys about 10 minutes, is that enough? Like I said, just look it up, no stress. You can think through it. Sometimes you might have to reason it out a little bit. But that gives you over 30 seconds per question. All right? We'll try it out. We'll see how everyone's doing, okay? Like I said, you're not graded on getting all these all right, okay? You're only graded on just completing it, okay? All right, there's the timer. It's up, but it's way up there. All right.
Yeah, like your end user, but then using me
let's review here. Okay? Everyone get the first one right? Everyone able to fill in your name? That is an important part of the test. Okay? Make sure you spelled your name right. Maybe I will dock you points if you didn't get your name right. Okay? All right. Let's look at these. Now, this is what we're going to do. Because it instills learning when you are able to explain something to somebody else. So you get to talk to your partners, okay? So, if you are on the left or in front of your partner, because sometimes it's kind of a back front row, you are number 1. All right? If you're on the right or in the back, you're number 2. Make sense? If there's 3 of you, you're just going to have to work it out, okay, and take turns. There's only one group there's 3, okay? All right, so what I want to do is look at this here, and I'll give you guys 10 seconds because this is a real easy one, okay? I want number 1 to explain to number 2 what the right answer is and why. Well then, tell them you don't know the answer. All right. Number 2's. What is the answer? So it says, what character do you type in Vim to save the file without it closing? W? It is W, yes, for write. So it is W. What does Q do?
Wait,
Just
you say W for right? Sorry.
for write, which means save. Yep. Q is quit, right? What's P? I have no idea. I just made it up. It may mean something, I don't know. And S, I don't know what that is either. Okay? So W is to save something without closing it. Q will close it, but it won't save anything. Okay? All right, number 2's. You're going to explain to number 1 the answer for number 2.
I put the slash the first it's different on mine. I didn't really know.
All right.
I just guessed.
How many people think it's number 1?
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Everyone's waiting for someone else to raise their hand, huh? How about number 2? How about number 3? How about number 4? So it's between 2 and 3. We had more people on number 2. What's the right answer? 2. This is root. This is actually a folder. / is a folder. Now remember this later. If you have a folder that's described as / and a name, so let's say it's / Ben. That means the Ben folder, not Ben as in this Ben, but Ben, B-I-N, is inside the / folder. Does that make sense? So if the folder is / Ben, it's 2 folders there. It's / and then there's a folder called Ben. Does that make sense? Okay. What is / root? That is actually a folder. Does anyone know? This is a bonus question. Yes, it is a folder in root, within root, right? Kind of got an inception type thing going there, right? This is root's home. So there's no /home / root for root's home. That's where root keeps all their stuff. Okay? All right. See how fun this is? Yeah. I hate when I had to do this too, but now I'm not actually doing what you guys are doing. I just administer, right? All right. It's number 1's turn, right, to explain to number 2. If user Susan was in this folder, what's the command to copy this file to Susan's home? So number 1, explain to number 2 what that command is. All right. So number 2 is, what is that command? I'll type it in here. What's the first thing I type? CP for copy. Why isn't it going in there? Then what? Okay. Slash home. Slash host. Then what? Space. Then what? This is the hard part. What is it? Tilde works. Okay. The copy command. Let me try and make this a little bigger. Sorry, I see people in the back squinting. A little better? The copy command, there's 3 parts to it. Copy. What are you going to copy? Where are you going to copy it to? Okay? So, we're copying. We're going to copy this. And we're going to copy it to tilde. Now that maybe that throws you off. But what does that stand for? Home. That's your home. And it does represent /home/ the user's name. That's what this equals. Home and the username. Okay? All right. Number 4. Whoever's turn it is to explain it to the other person. I've already lost track. Okay? I know, I can't keep track of 2. So, what is the command? What's this command doing? I don't know, I forget who I started with.
Just have a script.
I should.
Jump in your directory.
I put copy the directory into the pictures folder.
Hey. All right, this is kind of a funny command to me. This command should work, but it's a little weird. Right? First off, let's explain what's going on here. So what's this command doing? It's copying what?
Your home directory.
Your home directory to where?
Picture folder.
To
No,
pic-
not yours.
Not to your pictures. Yes. So we are copying your entire home directory. That's all your files, your documents, your video, everything in the user's home, to a folder, pictures, in the root directory, which doesn't exist unless you created it. Remember, / means root. Okay? Let me show you. So if I do ls / ls just lists what's in a folder, right? So I'm going to list the root folder. These are the folders that are in /, which is called root. I can create one there if I'm administrator called pictures. There's not one there by default. So if I wanted to go to the folder called run, I would do / run because it's in the / folder. Does that make sense? Is your home, now, in my home, I probably have a pictures folder here. This is my user's home. What is the path to this pictures? Home slash username slash pictures. Yes. So if I was to move into pictures folder, I'd be in /home, right? / is a folder. And then inside that folder is another folder. What's that folder called? Home. So I'm in the / folder. I'm in the home folder. Now, after that, those / just mean it divides up the folder names, right? Because you need a way to separate the folder names. Okay? So once I'm in the home folder, what folder am I in now? My username, which is J Bernard. Then I'm into another folder. What's that called? Pictures. Yeah, so I'm in 4 folders. / home, J Bernard, pictures. That is completely different than just / pictures. There's no such folder as / pictures. Why? Because there's no picture folder inside /. Do you see anything here that says pictures? That means there's no picture folder inside /. Because I just listed everything that's in /. Does that make sense? Okay. Concerned because I still see some confused looks. Okay? This is kind of really important and will help you in this class, okay? Some of the basics that we learned last semester that we really need to capture. Okay? All right, number 5. Have the other person explain to the other person. If you have a file called interfaces, which is in this folder, path, what is the command to only list that interface file? Does that make sense? I only want to see, I'm going to list the name, and I only want to see interfaces come back.
That's kind of what I did.
Oh, wait, can I? We already talked about
All right, what is the answer? First of all, what's the command? I demonstrated it just a few seconds ago. LS, good. Then what do I type? Okay, then what? That's it. It's going to list, what if I left off the interface? What was it going to show me?
Everything in there works.
Everything in networks. Right? But since this is a file, these two are folders, right? So folder, folder. If I ls a folder, it shows me everything in that folder. If I ls a file, it just shows me that file. This is a file. Now, if that was a folder interface, it'd show me everything inside that folder. Okay? All right. All right, reverse again for number 6. Which of the following folders should not exist in the default installation of Linux? Hopefully I've already explained this a little bit.
Yeah, I did the /home.
yes, of course. But I don't know if the users, whenever you first install Linux, is your user
Yeah,
still there?
you're right.
That's
Pictures
what I
isn't
chose.
pictures isn't always there. Yeah,
What if like you did GUI version pictures?
it depends on the distribution.
What if you like the user ones?
So that's a good explanation. So we're having no discussion here. So there could be two answers here. However, one looks just really weird. All right, the most. So which one's the worst off that should not be there? Okay, which one? Slash pictures. Yeah. That's really weird because who does this pictures belong to? Like root, the system, right? No. But this pictures belongs to the user. Right? Whoever the user is. Okay? And then this is a very standard directory where executable files are located at. Right? When you run commands, that's where they run from, a lot of them. Okay? All right, reverse again here. What is the home path of user named John? Give you guys about 10 seconds for this one. All right, so what's the answer? What's his home? That's it. That should be his home. That's where he keeps his stuff. Right? It's not just /home. You got to identify the user. Okay? All right, let's switch here for number 8. If Susan is a downloads folder in her home directory, which of the following is the correct path? All right, after all we've done, hopefully this is easy. Explain to the other person. Yeah.
None of those answers can be correct the way the questions were.
All right. So user Susan has downloads folder in her in your home directory. All right. All right. That should be her home directory. Sorry. Thank you for correcting the check. So it meant to say her home directory. All right, so which is the right answer?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Home, Susan, downloads. That's Susan's downloads folder. Okay? Yeah. All right, let's switch again. If user Susan was in her home directory and a file was called iwcc.txt was also in her home, what's the command to copy that to Susan's documents folder? It's kind of a long way of saying it, but I got to tell you where everything is.
So your file location, because it's also in the same room you're currently in, just put it down.
All right, now let's look. We already did. Why am I doing all these copy commands? Because you do copy a lot, right? But it all depends where you're located at, right? Like here, look at that one. We listed the whole path of where that file is. Right? Was there another copy on? No. And then we copied it to home. And we talked about this copy, okay? But this time, everything is in Susan's home. Right? So what would be the command to copy this file into her documents folder?
Space Susan slash.
What does everyone think about that?
You don't need the Susan. You don't need slash.
Don't need the Susan. Yep. This should not work, actually. If you're already in home Susan, then this is saying that there's another folder inside Susan called Susan. Okay? Now, do I leave the slash here in the front? Why not?
Because that would be in root.
That would be in root. Right, that's very common. People just think the slashes always go in the front. It only goes in front for a very small select of folders, okay? They go there. All right, so this This should just work. Copy that file, that file. We can make this a lot longer if we wanted to, but this is the most simple command that's there. All right. All right, reverse back again. This one should be hopefully quick. What of the following is not equivalent to the tilde? Tilde is that little squiggle. So there's 3 there that represent tilde.
We already know 2 for sure. I'm only 100%. No.
All right. Let's do a vote on this one. So which one is not tilde? Everyone raise your hand if this is not tilde. Okay, we only got 3. Everyone raise your hand if this is not tilde. Got a few more. This one not tilde. This one is not tilde. Yeah, not everybody's voting here, guys. What's going on? Let's try this again. Everybody has to select 1 vote, okay? How many think that is not tilde? Okay, a lot more there. How many people think this is not tilde? Okay? How many think this is not tilde? How many think this is not tilde? Okay. The correct answer, in my mind, we'll find out and I'll show you why, is this one. /home. What does tilde represent? The user's home. Okay? Now the only one that may be confusing to you guys I threw in there as a kind of a loop is this one here. Okay? But the other 2 should represent the, I mean all I did, well that one's wrong too, huh? Yeah, that one's wrong too. Dang it. All right, I had 2 wrong in there. All right, so let me show you. Here. The first one is, let me show you this. Yeah, so I messed up on that question a little bit. There were 2 that were right. So there are built-in variables into Bash, okay, that represent certain things. $home is one of those variables. So when I do $home, that's the same as tilde. Okay? When I do echo tilde, that brings back the exact same thing, right? Okay. Apparently I couldn't think of a third one, so I made some stuff up. So this should not work either because then that was kind of the Susan thing, right? It was kind of home, Susan, and then Susan again. That's what this would be. Because tilde already is home, user. This would be home, user, user. Right? So I really had 2. So if you guess those 2, you're right. Okay? All right, so tilde is /home /user. Okay. All right, switch again and explain. If you have a file called name.txt in your current directory, what's the command to only list that file? Again, this should be super easy.
Otherwise, you have to put path.
All right, so we did a similar one up here, right? Like this. ls, and then we type this big long thing, right? So what's the answer for this one? Just that. Why is this one? Why can't I just type names here? But up here, I had to type like the whole thing.
Well, everybody say, but
No.
because it's the directory you're in, and if it wasn't, you need to give it a path.
Right. It's the direct. It depends where you're at. It's in the same folder that I am in, so I can just list it. But in this instance, I'm in a completely different place. So I have to list the whole path of where it's at. Okay? I have to list the full thing. Oh, did I mistype?
It's not the first time.
Oh. There we go. All right. Explain again. What does the following command do? Copy this, work. All right. What does that command do? Copy what? So is it, let's say 1, 2, 3, or 4? I heard 2s. I see some 1s. All right, those were 2. Why did you pick that one? What's wrong with the syntax? No one can explain it? Someone picked it.
Are you trying to move all 4 files into the directory called work?
Huh?
Okay. Because the way it's listed there, it's going to try to first copy file 1 into file 2. And then it's going to get all kinds of confused.
Yeah. What's that? This one here's the file? Oh, do you think it's this one?
No, I'm asking the copy, the same copy file 1, file 2, file 3.
Yes.
The work is the directory of this file.
5. Sorry, I'm not understanding.
He's asking if it's a directory.
Oh,
Work.
yes, work is a folder. So the syntax is incorrect, is what most people are saying. Other people were saying number 1. How many people were saying number 1? You guys are right. The copy command allows you to copy multiple files at one time, and then just whatever the last thing is, that's where it's going to copy it to. Again, it's copy. What are you going to copy? I'm going to copy that to where? Here. This just has more arguments to it. So it would copy all 4 files into the work folder.
See, at first I thought it was correct too, but afterwards we tested it. And the reason I expected to be wrong is because normally commands take everything you do very literally, and they aren't smart with what you do. You know what I mean? So it seems kind of strange.
That's why I threw it in there. Yeah.
On your board, you're saying 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have to switch one. Mine does not look like yours.
Yeah, they're in different.
Yeah, it reverses in order. Sorry. That's why I'm just using it up here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I said 2, and you don't know it's 1, but that's why.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I just thought of a different way to do it. Whether it's also working with the CP file and asterisk.
Yeah.
Work.
If we had a file 5, 6, 7, 8, those would be moved in 2. And if we didn't want those moved, then that would be incorrect. But if we wanted those moved, then it would work. Depends on our intention, right? Yeah. So let me show you guys here real quick. The copy, the move command, the ls command, all kind of do these same things. So I'll go into my temp folder in my home. Apparently I don't have one. I called it that type of temp. Okay. So touch. Use the wrong brackets. Okay. So we have 4 files. We make a directory called work. Because I'm doing tab. So I just copied those 4 files into the work folder. Yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just use the same type of commands you used when you created those 4 files and add brackets 1 through 4 and then use them?
Yes, that would be a quicker way to do it. But then it wouldn't teach the concept of how the copy command works multiple things. It does, but then I have to explain the brackets all over again. Yeah.
Which you reminded of us when you created this.
Yeah. So this command here, copy, what are you going to copy? Where are you going to copy it to? Okay? All right. I didn't know that one would be hotly debated, but that was good. That was a good discussion. All right, number 13. I guess it's the ones explaining, right? If user John was in that directory, what is the command to move into the share folder, which is located in the user directory, which is located in the same directory? All right, so first off, what's the command to move into a directory? CD, and then what would I put? Just share. That's it. I'm already in the user folder, the USR folder, and share is in the user folder too. So if we're both there in the same place, you can just CD share. Jump right in. Okay? All right, number 14. If user John is in user share bin, what's the shortest command to move him to var log? All right, twos I think are explaining the 1.
It's very unobvious.
All right. What is the correct answer? CD what? CD slash var? The first one here. That is correct. All right, where does this one take you?
To your home directory.
Home directory. Where does this one take you?
Log and root.
Log and root, which doesn't exist. Log and root, right? It takes you to the root folder and log. And there's not one there. And where does that take you?
Is there a log directory inside of user share bin?
Yes. If I am in user share bin, it's expecting that there better be a log folder inside the bin folder, which there's not. So, yeah, because this is where I'm located at. It's all about the relative path and the absolute path. Okay, this is an absolute path because I'm not even in the var folder. I'm over here in user. So I have to completely get out, go back to the root folder, and then go back in. Okay? So really the longest one up there is the shortest. It's the only way to do it. Okay? There are tricks actually, but we'll talk about that later. All right. Okay. This is for the odds to explain to the evens, right? If user Susan was in her home folder, what's the command to copy the host's file to her home, Susan's home?
The only thing before this,
I don't remember.
was whenever you're using a path, that it is going to just take the file part of it as what the subject of the command. That was, I wasn't sure.
All right. First off, what's the command? CP, right? I'm using just the basic commands here, right? So she's already in her home folder. How's she going to get that file, the Etsy host file, to where she's at? So what do we type in? Okay, then what? Space what? Yes. That last option could be several different things. Tilde is most common, right? Because tilde equals home / or the user, right? You can also use a dot. So that one's not incorrect. That one's correct. But this is also correct. You can just do dot. Dot just means my current folder. So tilde will specifically move it home regardless of where you are in the whole machine, right? But if you're already in your home, you can also just use dot because that's your current folder. Okay? But that would work. That's probably what I would do if I was typing this. Okay? All right. All right, the evens. What character do you type in Vim to begin typing? Hopefully this is a 5-second thinker. All right. How many people do not think it's I? Okay, what do you think it is? Okay. It's I. Okay? You type I. Now, there's other options that allow you to start typing as well, that place the cursor in a different place. The one I use all the time is Shift A to make a capital A. That puts me to the end of the line, and then it opens it up and allows me to print. You can do O or uppercase or lowercase o, which puts you up a line or down a line, things like that. I just put you wherever the cursor is. All right, so I didn't put any of those on there. I didn't put A or O and stuff like that. But I is the one you normally push. Okay? Do you guys know what X does?
That's colon.
That's if you do :X when you insert. But if you're in edit mode before you start typing and you hit X, it actually deletes the character the cursor's on. Yeah. And I don't know what TRQ does, but I made those up. All right, we're almost done here, guys. The torture's almost over. Okay. All right, odds. What's wrong with the following command? If a user wants to move a file named books.txt to their documents folder when both are in their user's home. So hopefully we reiterated this concept a few times already. Okay. What's wrong with this command? Yes, it's not moving the file to the user's documents folder. Why not? What's wrong with that? It's sending it to root documents, not the user's documents. Okay? All right. That worked for you guys? Did that refresh you guys? Was that a little challenging, even on some simple commands and things like that? I hope it was. Hopefully it refreshed a few things for you and solidified some things for you regarding some basics about copying and listing and moving things, okay? All right. We have a while still. So I put 2 instruction guides out there for you. One is to configure your firewall, okay? You need to be able to give your firewall a WAN IP address, WAN, and a LAN IP address, LAN. N. And so the firewall that you're using is called pfSense. It is a BSD. Yeah, just Unix version. Okay, it's a really common, powerful firewall that you can download for free. It's great, and that's what McGill uses here for this whole school, right? Or for, I guess, this lab. And anyway, you learn how to set that up and configure it. Okay, so that you can allow traffic from the servers you set up to actually get out. Okay, so you can actually access the internet through that firewall. Okay, so that's what that does. And then the second one is, and I don't know if you have time to finish it, but go ahead and try it. If not, we'll continue a lot of this lab on Wednesday, is you're going to install a graphical interface on your Ubuntu that you set up. Okay, and the reason for that is, one, we're going to do other configurations to the firewall. That will be done through a web browser. Okay, so we need to have a graphical interface where you can access the firewall settings through a browser. Okay, so that's why we're installing. We're installing a kind of a really kind of basic graphical interface. It's called XFCE, and it's really similar, if you're used to like Windows XP or something like that, it's really similar to that, where there's an application menu over in the corner that you can click on to get your programs. It has a toolbar at the bottom. It doesn't have a lot of icons on the desktop or anything like that, but at least you can get a browser going or something like that. Okay, so those are your labs. Okay, I will put in there, and I don't think I put it in the lab Dropbox, but I need you to submit a screenshot first of your firewall being configured right. Okay, the firewall has a startup menu when you first open it up. So I'll show you exactly what I need to. Okay, we'll show you. Here's the firewall. So everyone should have a firewall already built in. So this is mine right here. And when you first log in, oops, you'll have a menu like this. So it's a kind of a menu system for the command line. And here's your WAN. That should be empty when you first get in. And then this should be something else. I think 192.168 or some other private IP address. Okay, you're going to configure these two. Your WAN is what gets you to the outside internet. Okay, and this is what all your other internal machines are going to be connected to. So if you're in the Windows class, all your Windows machines will be connected to this. Your Linux machines will be connected on this side of it. Okay, this is the inside network. That's the outside network. Okay, so that's what you're setting up. This is what I want a screenshot of that I see that. Okay, that's what you take a picture of. Then Ubuntu, I think yep, I did. Look at, I even have a screensaver going on. This is what the firewall looks like, the settings in the browser looks like. Okay, I'm just have Firefox open, has these menus along the top. Notice I type in the LAN IP address right up there to be able to access it. Okay, otherwise, and this is what XFCE looks like. It does have some icons and stuff like that. Oh, and the toolbar is up at the bottom, at the top, sorry. So here's the application menu. So if you want to go to internet, you can pick Firefox there. It's really light running. It doesn't take a lot of resources. That's why I chose it. It's not a huge download. If you want your terminal, because you may be on your terminal a bit, if you want to create a shortcut on it, you can just right click and go add to desktop. And that's how I got this icon right here to access my command line. Like that. Okay? So I want a screenshot of this that you logged into Ubuntu with the graphical interface, okay? The instructions are on Rock on how to do this. But first, you have to get your network working through your firewall so that you can actually download the applications to install this graphical interface. Okay? So a few lessons are being learned here. How to configure a firewall, how to install applications and programs on Ubuntu, and particularly to install a graphical interface if you want one. Okay? So, there you go. All right, go for it.